Hindi pa problema yon kasi ang sinasabi natin is ang dahilan kung bakit mataas ang presyo ng bigas ay ang dahil sa unscrupulous rice traders. Tama po? Sa tingin niyo po ba, mayroon bang cartel sa rice industry?
He wants executive session.
Hindi, tanongin lang natin, yes or no. Pagdating po sa traders, do you have a registry of rice traders? Do we know who the rice traders are? Enforcement, no? Kayo po ang nasa enforcement.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, ano lang, I just want your thoughts. Bakit po hindi bumababa ang presyo ng bigas?
The smugglers, anyway, though they do
Are
not pay,
the smugglers the cartels?
that I
Meaning
cannot
they manipulate the price and keep it.
Definitely, there's price manipulation, ma'am. But I cannot
Yes, so
say
are
if
you
the
saying that the smugglers are also the cartel operators? To ask PSA. I've seen data on onions. You compute, for example, sufficiency ratios for crops like onions. Do you do this for rice as well?
Yes, Madam Chair.
So may we know? May we know current sufficiency levels for rice? Ibig sabihin, sapat ba ang supply sa current demand pagdating sa bigas?
Ano? Bigas?
Yes, for rice. I mean, no, meaning local plus imports. I want to know,
Oh,
so local production plus imports, yes, relative to demand. Like, what's the change from 2023 to 2024 post-tariff reduction?
Mr. Chair, the self-sufficiency for rice is 77 to 78%.
So that is 2024. Para sa anong taon yan? 2023?
alam mo, mahirap ang tanong ni ano. Ganito, ma'am.
Hindi, meron kasi silang kinocompute na supply and demand.
Ma'am, ganito. Yung demand, may estimate ka ng demand, di ba? Tapos, mag-set
Mr.
aside
Chair.
ka na 45 days for stock. Okay? Plus nung consumption, plus yung domestic supply, domestic production, plus importation
Yes.
equals your, ano,
Yes, meron silang,
that's your sufficiency.
oo, meron silang gano'n.
Mr. Chair, our self-sufficiency ratio formula is actually production over production plus import minus exports times 100.
No stocks?
Based on FAO.
Walang
methodology.
beginning.
There has to be some
Yes,
stock.
beginning stock.
That is another method, Madam Chair. Mr. Chair.
Hindi, but mas gusto namin yung may beginning stock.
We also do that, but the self-sufficiency ratio that I mentioned is based on that formula. The production over production plus import
Hindi, mas
minus.
gusto nga namin yung may beginning stock plus local production. Isa-isahin natin, beginning stock plus local production plus imports, less consumption.
I will just
And-
get the data, Mr.
Oo,
Chair.
tapos para sa 2023 and then for 2024. Basically, we want to see kung paano nagbago yan before and after the reduction in tariff. So, sige. Babalikan na lang kita. All right.
Next.
And then, Mr. Chair, tatanungin ko lang si Asek Karag. Actually, I wanted to interject earlier when you were asking him about enforcement powers. Nung sumagot kayo, Asek, na wala kayong enforcement powers, medyo naawa ko sa inyo. Dahil
Tinanggal nyo.
hindi natin tinanggal. We never gave them enforcement powers because when we passed the Philippine Competition Act, binigay natin ang enforcement powers para sa lahat ng sektor sa Philippine Competition Commission pagdating sa pag-enforce against cartels. Yun ang gusto ko sanang sabihin, and that's probably the reason for why we never thought of giving DA enforcement powers. Kasi meron ng batas na ganon. Kaya I wanted to say, pagdating sa cartel enforcement, wag natin i-expect na ang DA may ganon. Kasi nga, may batas tayo na Philippine Competition Act. Tama po ba yun?
Yes, ma'am. From what I understand, yes, they're the ones who have the enforcement, and we've actually coordinated with them already.
Yes, so my next question is that. So do you have an MOA with the PCC?
No, ma'am, because under AO 23, at 20, ma'am, we had already coordinated with them prior. Pero-
Yeah, so in other words kasi, Mr. Chair, dapat theoretically, ginagamit nila through an MOA ang enforcement powers ng PCC to go against the cartels, which is actually what had happened for the onion cartel.
Yes,
Kaya
ma'am.
nga nagpro-progress na para doon sa cartel na yun.
Yes, ma'am. In fact, when we had that, I actually was one who called for the meeting as the Secretary of Agriculture, put me as his permanent representative to that AO. When I called that meeting, in fact, the PCC mentioned they're very thankful because it's the first time the Department of Agriculture coordinated with them regarding enforcement.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so at least now that you're working together.
Yes.
Okay. Next question. Sa tingin niyo po ba meron bang cartel sa rice industry?
He wants executive session.
Hindi, tanangin lang natin yes or no.
Ma'am, pwedeng hindi yes or no?
Sige,
It
bahala
seems
po.
like there is, ma'am. And
okay.
not probably just with rice.
At ano ang iyong, sa iyong sagot, ano ang iyong definition ng cartel?
Pag-aralan ko po muna, ma'am.
Nakaka,
It seems like there are certain either sectors or individuals who are actually manipulating prices. So
no,
we,
kasi there are many ways to manipulate prices, di ba? Pwedeng, halimbawa,
Whether with the volume.
magkasundo tayo, sabihin natin, okay wag kang bababa sa 50 per kilo. Pwedeng ganon. Or pwedeng, pareho tayong nagsto-store sa isang warehouse, pwede tayong mag-coordinate ng pag-hoard ng quantities. So, sa iyong palagay, ano ang modus ng rice cartel?
Ma'am, I can't answer the modus of the rights cartel because we're still in the process of studying it's a whole system. Because we have problems with logistics, we have problems with warehouses, cold and dry. We are archipelagic nation. So, syempre, tataas yung presyo with the transport kasi may boat. Di lang tulad lang, people mention Vietnam, Thailand, Myanmar. They're all landlocked.
No, yes. Pero pag
We
sinasabi
have
kasi,
7,000 islands.
Yes,
So,
pag sinasabi-
mas mataas talaga presyo natin. And I believe there also are socialist or communist.
yes, but Mr. Chair, pag sinasabi naman natin na cartel, ang pinag-uusapan natin yung abnormal
Yes,
na
I
pagtaas
believe
ng
there is
presyo
some. Though we
na
cannot-
hindi natin mapapaliwanag dahil landlocked, archipelagic. Ibig sabihin yun talagang walang paliwanag kung hindi nagmanipula. In short, artificial ang pagtaas ng presyo. At sinabi ninyo mukhang meron, kaya tanong ko is ano modus dyan?
That I cannot say yet, ma'am, because or answer yet, ma'am, because like I said, we're still in the process of studying all the information we can. There's policy, there's other departments we have to talk with, law enforcement departments also, ma'am, that we have to jive all the information, and eventually we will come up with the answer to that, ma'am.
So, sir, alam naman natin na rice is the biggest contributor to inflation. Tama po?
I think so, ma'am.
PSA, what is the contribution of rice to inflation? Tama ba 50%?
Madam Chair, yes po, 48%.
48%, di ba? So it's the biggest contributor to inflation. sabi ninyo at nagpapasalamat kami na ikaw na po ang nagko-coordinate with PCC. At alam nyo po na sila ang may original and primary jurisdiction over cartels. Eh hindi nyo po ba pinag-usapan with PCC na napaka-importanting commodity ang bigas? Sa tingin ko, may pagmanipula ng presyo dito. Bakit hindi natin once and for all tignan na ang problema ng rice cartel?
Ma'am, we are, like I mentioned, we are in the process of
Hindi, yes or no lang naman eh. Hindi process. Have you actually
no, ma'am,
already undertaken?
we had one meeting middle of this year, ma'am. Hindi pa natutuloy uli because other AOs have come into the picture. May AO 23 na rin, and then we also have the RA
No, but you don't
128.
need an AO. I came from the PCC. It's just a matter of you writing a letter to the commission and saying that,
Hindi nagkatugma, ma'am, yung mga meeting thereafter.
no, yes, but
it
is this
doesn't stop
something
us
that,
from-
is this something that,
We will, ma'am, we will, definitely.
okay, next question, sir. Kanina tinanong ko po kung sino ang biggest importers of rice. Pagdating po sa traders, do you have a registry of rice traders? Do we know who the rice traders are? Kasi kanina pa po natin sinasabi na ang dahilan kung bakit mataas ang presyo ng bigas ay dahil sa middlemen. Di po ba?
Ma'am, from what I understand, we get the data of the importers, not necessarily the traders, ma'am.
So, in
So
short,
some of the traders are the importers.
okay, so hindi natin alam, wala tayong registry ng rice traders. Meron tayong registry of importers, tama po? Yes. Importers meron.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, may I pass on?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. So, ang ating pong nire-register is importers and then the dry storage warehouses. Yung food business operators po ay mostly on food safety, ma'am. Yun po, chinecheck natin. At ngayon po ay sinisimulan na ho nating iparehistro yung mga yon.
Alam din natin ang farmers.
Ang farmers po, ma'am, yung farmers registry system po siguro ng DA ang meron. Kasi nire-register po natin yung mga producers, mga farmers.
Okay, so ang hindi natin kilala ay ang traders. Hindi pa problema yon kasi ang sinasabi natin is ang dahilan kung bakit mataas ang presyo ng bigas ay ang dahil sa unscrupulous rice traders. Tama po? Pero bakit hanggat ngayon hindi po natin ine-endeavor na alamin kung sino sila? Do you agree na problema po yun na hindi natin sila kilala? At dapat magkaroon na tayo ng isang registry of rice traders?
Opo, ma'am. Hanggang... sige po.
Patulog ka kay Asis.
Ma'am, if I may defer the answering to our USEC also about that.
It used to be part of the powers of NFA to register the millers, the wholesalers, and even the retailers. But that power was taken out. And just to correct the previous statement given to the chair, on the number of eggs, I'm very sorry. The actual number, there are two numbers on the eggs. That's wrong. The first number is 40 million a day. This is based on PSA. But based on our own estimate, using industry data, it's around 47 million, sir. Just to correct. Thank you.
So babalik lang ako dun sa... So hindi natin alam, Mr. Chair. So I think it's a problem and I think that's something that we should look into. Next question po. Nabanggit kanina na kahit paano tayo ay nag-i-inspect na ng warehouses ng importers. At nabanggit niyo rin po na at sa tingin namin, maraming importers ang traders din. Tama po? In other words, bumibili din sila ng local rice. Tama?
Yes, ma'am.
So, doon po sa ini-inspect ninyo, nakikita niyo rin ang stocks na binibili nila from local farmers. Tama po?
Ma'am, before the BPI answers, may I make a statement? Ma'am, we can only inspect under the regulatory powers of the DA those that are registered.
Yes.
Majority nga are not registered, ma'am. So we cannot inspect those that are not
Well,
yet
okay,
registered.
that's a separate problem. Well, first of all, why are they not registered, di ba?
Kasi sa LGU nga ho muna magre-register, not necessarily.
Well, that's not how
DA na eh.
that's not what the AO, we've seen the AO many times, Chair Mark.
Yes, so in accordance to Administrative Order number 2 ba? Tama ba?
20.
That,
20,
Director
sir.
Glenn?
20.
Yung former, the old AO. It was then Secretary Dar that issued that in 2021 that mandates BPI
Yes, to register.
all local. Oh, even local kasi imported lang noon eh. And then it was included na all local produce.
Sir, it was also, from my understanding, it's in a Supreme Court now, may kaso yun. Because I think what was only required then was cold storage warehouses, not dry storage.
Okay, but with the existing, with the new anti-agricultural economic sabotage law, they are now required to register and submit data on a
Regular
quarterly
basis,
basis.
Yes, sir.
Grabe ng bureaucracy.
Okay, so,
May-
yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Director
Tama po.
Glenn.
Ma'am, yung pong ating pag-monitor ng mga dry storage warehouse kung saan nandun yung bigas. Unang-una po, yun nga, food safety and pest and disease. Yun po yung unang mandato ng opisina. And then, we have already initiated kahit po yung local ay i-monitor and yung imported. But gaya po ng nasabi ni Ase Karag, ma'am, kasi yung iba po kasi, hindi naman po siya talaga rehistradong warehouse. But we have made efforts po para ito ay marehistro. Actually from 2021 po na zero po yung nasa data eh. Pero from 2022 from 107 ngayon po ay nasa 626 na po yung na-registered nating dry storage warehouses. So from 2023, we had 224 registered, 2024, 295 registered. So nag-e-effort po talaga tayo, ma'am. Makita po itong mga ito at makita po kung ano yung laman niya.
Okay.
And with the law po, baka po nga, yun nga po, makompel po sila na ma-distribute po ito.
So, alam natin ang laman ng mga warehouses na to, whether imported or local.
Yung pong mga naka-register po.
Yes. So doon na lang tayo mag-umpisa sa registered. Wala naman tayong magagawa doon sa unregistered sa ngayon. So nasaan po ang data na yon?
We can submit po yung aming reports no
So,
ginagawa nating monitoring.
Yes, so could you, para sa anong date, anong years?
We have it po naman na regularly nag-update po kami ng data na yan.
So doon sa latest count, which is over 600, meron ka for those 600 warehouses, nandun ang stocks both local and imported.
Yung 2023 and 2024, doon po tayo nag-start talaga mag-ramp
Sige
up.
po, so please submit
We will.
those. Okay. So,
Kong Stella, sorry. With your indulgence, just to inform the body that also in the proposed rice tarification law,
Post.
subject of course to the approval of the president. We will require the registration and maintain a national database of all grain warehouses by BPI and cold storages. So double, both from the anti-agri economic sabotage and the RTL.
siguro last question na lang, Chair, kay Ase Karag. Kayo po yung nasa enforcement, no? Kayo po ang nasa enforcement.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, ano lang, I just want your thoughts. Bakit po hindi bumababa ang presyo ng bigas?
Ma'am, from my point of view,
From your
in
point
the
of view.
office I represent, there's too many problems, ma'am.
Give me the top three. Top three.
I would say smuggling.
And please explain
the
how,
mit-
because smuggling is the reverse, di ba? When you smuggle, you don't pay the 15% tariff. So it's supposed to lower the price, right? So why are you saying that it contributes to higher prices?
First of all, the way I see it, ma'am, is the smugglers anyway, though they do not
Are
pay,
the smugglers the cartels?
that I
Meaning
cannot
they manipulate the price and keep it.
definitely there's price manipulation, ma'am, but I cannot
Yes, so
say
are
if
you
the
saying that the
smugglers
smugglers are also the cartel operators?
I cannot say in definite terms, ma'am.
Yes, but you said
Probably,
that,
but-
that when I asked you what is the reason for why the price of rice is high, your number one reason is smuggling. But that's counterintuitive.
Yes, ma'am. I was
because
going-
smuggling means you don't pay the tax, which means you reduce the price.
Yes, ma'am.
So why is that supposed to be the reason for why the price is high?
Well, I think other people can be the ones to answer that, ma'am. From
I want
our
you.
finance.
I want you to respond as enforcer.
Yes. The way I see it, ma'am, is the smugglers smuggle, but yun nga yung problema natin ho, ma'am, hindi naman bumababa yung presyo. So definitely someone is taking advantage, whether price manipulation or what, or cartel, as you have mentioned. Maybe that's what we call them. So definitely smuggling is one of the biggest problems of why prices are maintaining the high prices, ma'am. No? Number two would
Stella,
probably be
it's implied already.
number two. The way I see it, ma'am, is graft and corruption within so many departments itself.